Have you ever wondered what it takes to truly transform your business and master the art of online marketing? If you're struggling to grow or even get started with digital strategies, you're not alone in this video. We'll uncover some powerful insights that can change the game for you. Whether you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, or just starting your online journey, why watch until the end? Stick with us. Because by the end, you'll learn proven methods for mastering video marketing, how to build a loyal online audience, and the crucial tools that can skyrocket your brand visibility. If you're serious about making your business thrive in the digital world, this video will give you the knowledge and strategies you need to succeed. Don't miss out on the ultimate roadmap to success. In video marketing, if you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now let's begin. First, health. My body is my own health is, without a doubt, one of the most valuable assets we have in life. It's something we often acknowledge but rarely prioritize until it starts slipping away. The truth is, health is the foundation of everything. Without it, all the wealth, love, and happiness in the world can lose their meaning. Yet it breaks my heart to see so many people, especially in their 70s and beyond, sacrificing their well-being for the sake of others. They do it out of love, out of duty, and sometimes out of a sense of obligation. But they often fail to see the toll it takes on their bodies and minds. When health is neglected, the consequences can be irreversible. Let me share with you the story of a remarkable woman named Lee Jonga, whose life is both a testament to selflessness and a cautionary tale. Lee Jonga is 74 years old and has spent most of her life giving everything she has to her family as a young mother. She worked tirelessly to support her children, ensuring they had the education and opportunity she never had when her children grew up and had families of their own. She didn't stop. She became the backbone of her extended family, taking care of her grandchildren and helping with household chores. Her days started before sunrise and ended well into the night, from taking her grandchild to kindergarten to cooking, cleaning, and running errands. Her life was a whirlwind of responsibilities. She rarely had time to sit down, let alone care for herself. Years passed, and as her grandchildren grew older, her body began to feel the strain of her unrelenting schedule. The once minor aches in her back turned into unbearable pain. Concerned, she finally went to the hospital, where she was diagnosed with a severely deteriorated spinal disc. On top of that, her blood pressure had skyrocketed to dangerous levels, forcing her to start taking medication. The doctor's words hit her like a thunderbolt. Her condition was the result of years of neglecting her health. She had given everything to others and left nothing for herself. The worst part, she could no longer take care of her grandchildren. This realization devastated her. Her children, who had always relied on her, were shocked and guilt-ridden, and Lee Jonga herself was consumed with feelings of failure and regret. "I thought I was doing the right thing," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I thought sacrificing my health was part of being a good mother and grandmother. But now I see I was wrong. If I can't take care of myself, I can't take care of anyone else." Her story is one of love and sacrifice, but it also serves as a wake-up call. How many of us are walking down the same path, thinking that neglecting our health for the sake of others is an act of love? It's not. Protecting your health is the greatest gift you can give. Give to your family. Without you, they will suffer. 2. Another story that deeply moved me is that of Kim Jung-ho, a man who at 73 years old thought of himself as invincible. He had always been strong, energetic, and full of life. During his working years, he never missed a day of exercise. But after retiring, things began to change with more time at home. He fell into a sedentary lifestyle, spending hours sitting or lying down, telling himself that he deserved to rest. After years off this, I thought sacrificing my health was part of being a good mother and grandmother, but now I see I was wrong. If I can't take care of myself, I can't take care of anyone else. Her story is one of love and sacrifice, but it also serves as a wake-up call. How many of us are walking down the same path, thinking that neglecting our health for the sake of others is an act of love? It's not. Protecting your health is the greatest gift you can give. Give to your family. Without you, they will suffer too. Another story that deeply moved me is that of Kim Jung-ho, a man who at 73 years old thought of himself as invincible. He had always been strong, energetic, and full of life. During his working years, he never missed a day of exercise. But after retiring, things began to change. With more time at home, he fell into a sedentary lifestyle, spending hours sitting or lying down, telling himself that he deserved to rest after years of hard work. What he didn't realize was that his body still needed care and movement. One day, while walking to the store, he felt a sudden, sharp pain in his chest. Alarmed, he rushed to the hospital where doctors discovered that his heart arteries were severely blocked. He needed emergency surgery to save his life. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Thankfully, the surgery was successful, but the experience left him shaken. I never thought this could happen to me. He admitted, I always assumed my health would stay strong, but I was careless, and that was my biggest mistake. Now, Kim Jung-ho walks for 30 minutes every day, rain or shine. He understands that health isn't something to take for granted. It's something you must work for every single day. His story reminds us that health isn't just about physical strength. It's about maintaining a balance that allows us to enjoy life and care for those we love. On the other hand, let me tell you about La Suja, a woman who found a beautiful way to prioritize her health while embracing life's joys after retiring. She began gardening as a simple hobby. She didn't intend for it to become anything more than a pastime, but over time it became her daily ritual. Every morning, she would spend an hour or two tending to her plants. Watering, weeding, and pruning. These small acts of care not only kept her body active, but also brought her immense joy and peace today. At 7 years old, she is the picture of health and vibrancy. By taking care of my own body, she says, I feel a deep sense of calm. I know that staying healthy allows me to be there for my family when they need me. Suja's story is inspiring because it shows how small, consistent actions can make a big difference. She didn't need an expensive gym membership or a complicated routine. She simply found something she loved and made it part of her life. Her approach to health is a reminder that it's never too late to start caring for yourself, whether it's walking, stretching, or even gardening. The important thing is to move and nourish your body. Health is not about perfection, it's about progress. So what about you? Are you taking care of your health, or are you sacrificing it for others? I know it's hard to say no to your loved ones. I know you might feel guilty for putting yourself first, but please understand this. Your body is your own. No one else can take care of it for you. If you neglect it, the people you love will suffer along with you. Health is not just about surviving. It's about thriving. It's about waking up each morning with the energy to live life to the fullest, to laugh, to love, and to give. I urge you, as someone who deeply cares about your well-being, to take the first step. Today, develop a routine that works for you. It doesn't have to be complicated. 30 minutes of walking, light stretches, and regular health checkups can do wonders. Listen to your body because it's speaking to you every day. Don't wait until it's too late after 70. Your health is more important than ever. It's not selfish to prioritize it. It's wise, and it's the best way to show love to yourself and to those who depend on you. Your health is your treasure. Protect it, cherish it, because your body is your own and you deserve to live the rest of your life in health and happiness. Second, don't over-sacrifice for your family. There is a deeply ingrained belief in our generation that to truly love your family, you must sacrifice everything for them. From the moment we become parents, the world tells us that we should give up our dreams, comforts and desires to ensure our children's success and well-being. This idea of selfless sacrifice has been passed down through generations, painting a picture of a parent who gives and gives without ever asking for anything in return. But what happens when this giving goes too far? What happens when the sacrifices made with the purest of intentions end up stripping us of the very thing we were trying to protect, our happiness, security, and future as we grow older, especially when we reach the later years of our lives? It becomes more and more important to question this assumption. The sacrifices we make for our families while born out of love can sometimes have unintended consequences that harm us in ways we never anticipated. And when these sacrifices are made without consideration for our future, they can lead to regret, financial ruin, and even strained family relationships. It's a hard truth, but one that we need to face. Let me tell you 2 stories that to me highlight this dangerous cycle of over-sacrifice. Take the story of Kim Chu, a 70-year-old man who after retiring believed that the best way to help his family was to put his retire savings into his child's business. Kim Chi-soo had worked tirelessly his entire life, never once asking for much, always putting his family first. After he retired, he expected to finally enjoy the fruits of his labour, to have a little peace and comfort in his later years. However, when his child came to him, asking for financial help to start a business, Kim Chio-soo didn't hesitate. He saw this as an opportunity to secure a better future for his child, and by extension for his family, he emptied his retirement fund, handing it over to his child, with a promise that if the business succeeded, his child would repay him. In time, Kim Kyo-soo's heart swelled with hope and love for his child's future. But life doesn't always go as planned. The business failed. The dream his child had built crumbled, taking with it the hard-earned money that Kim Chio-soo had set aside for his retirement. His safe net, the funds that were supposed to protect him in his old age, were gone. What followed was a financial nightmare. Kim Chio-soo had to move into a small, cramped apartment, struggling to cover even the most basic expenses. The financial strain led to tensions within the family, and soon the once happy household was fraught with conflict. His children, feeling guilty for what had happened, wanted to help. But it was too late, the damage was done. Kim Chi-soo, in a moment of deep reflection, shared at that time, "I thought it was natural to sacrifice for my children. But now I realise that protecting my own retirement is also for the family's good." This story is a gut-wrenching reminder of how our well-intentioned sacrifices can sometimes lead to disaster. Kim Chio-soo believed he was doing the right thing, giving his child the chance to build a better future, but in doing so, he sacrificed his own. The hard truth is that by giving away his retirement savings, he had also unknowingly jeopardized his future, and in the process, his ability to support his family in the long run. The lesson here is clear. When we give everything we have, we leave ourselves vulnerable, and the very family we are trying to help may be the ones who suffer as a result. Now let me share another story that highlights this same theme of self-sacrifice gone too far. Jong Sun-ja, a 68-year-old woman, had always prided herself on being a loving and supportive grandmother. She adored her family and was always willing to lend a hand. So, when her grandchild came to her with the news that they had been accepted into a prestigious university but didn't have enough money for tuition, Jong Sun-ja didn't hesitate. She cashed in her life savings, even though it meant putting herself at risk. Financially, she believed that helping her grandchild's education was the best thing she could do. The most loving and selfless act she could offer. She didn't think twice about it. After all, her grandchild's future was at stake. But in doing so, she ignored one critical thing: her health. Jongsunja had been putting off her health checkups for months, telling herself she couldn't afford the time or money. She reasoned that her grandchild's education was more important. The irony, however, is tragic. By spending everything on her grandchild's tuition, she neglects the most important thing, her health. Eventually, her delayed medical appointments caught up with her. She was diagnosed with a severe condition that required urgent surgery, but by the time the problem was discovered, it was too late. The surgery was more complicated and expensive than it would have been if she had taken care of herself earlier. The emotional toll of her situation was immense. She could no longer contribute to her family. And worse still, she found herself in a position where she needed help, instead of being the one offering it. What should have been a joyful act of generosity turned into a painful reminder of how self-sacrifice, if taken too far, can backfire. This is a painful but crucial lesson. There must be limits to how much grandchildren or loved ones, if we have nothing left to give. And what happens when we give too much? When we drain ourselves to the point of exhaustion, or if we sacrifice for our families? Of course, we want to help. We want to give our children and grandchildren every opportunity to succeed, but we must remember that our well-being is just as important. If we complete ourselves emotionally, physically, or financially, we leave ourselves with nothing to give in the long run. Sacrificing for others should not come at the expense of our health, happiness, or future in my own life. I have come to believe that helping our loved ones should never mean harming ourselves. It is not selfish to preserve your resources, whether they are emotional, financial, or physical. Taking care of yourself is the best way to ensure that you can continue to be there for your family in the future. After all, what good are we to our children, grandchildren, or loved ones if we have nothing left to give? And what happens when we give too much, when we drain ourselves to the point of exhaustion or financial ruin? The answer is simple. We become a burden instead of the support we so desperately want to be. Before rushing to help, ask yourself some hard questions. Is this something I can afford? Will this affect my well-being? How will this decision impact my ability to care for myself in the future? The most loving thing you can do for your family is to ensure that you are strong, healthy, and secure by taking care of your own needs. First, you not only safeguard your future, but also provide a stable foundation for your loved ones to rely on. Self-care is not selfish. It is essential for your long-term ability to care for those you love. Third, let go of the inability to say no. Retirement is a time. Many of us look forward to a time when we can finally rest, enjoy life, and embrace the freedom that comes with having more free time. But as we retire and life slows down, there is one crucial lesson that many of us struggle to learn: the power of saying no. It seems simple enough, yet it is one of the hardest things for many people, especially those who have spent their lives caring for others. To embrace as we grow older, we find ourselves constantly approached with requests from family, friends, and neighbours. Whether it's helping a loved one with childcare, assisting a neighbour with a household repair, or volunteering for various causes, our desire to help is often driven by love and the need to feel useful. We want to be there for others, to make a difference in the lives of those around us. However, if we say yes to too many requests without considering our own needs, we end up sacrificing something much more valuable ourselves. The truth is, if we do not learn how to say no, we can unknowingly give so much of ourselves away that we forget who we are, what we need, and what makes us truly happy. Let me tell you the story of Jongsunja, a 71-year-old woman who was known in her community for being the go-to person. Whenever someone needed help throughout her life, Jongsunja had always been a caring mother, grandmother and friend, the one who was always there with a warm smile and an open hand. She lived to help others, finding meaning and purpose in her acts of kindness. But after she retired, her life began to change in ways she hadn't anticipated. She had more free time. And with that time came more and more requests. Neighbours began asking her to help with watching their children running errands or fixing things around their homes. At first, it felt good to be needed. It made her feel valuable and appreciated. Yet, as the days and weeks passed, Jongsunja began to feel the weight of these obligations. She didn't want to disappoint anyone, so she kept saying yes, even when it meant pushing aside her own needs. Eventually, the toll of constantly giving took its toll on her. She was exhausted, physically, drained, and emotionally worn out. She was helping everyone but neglecting the most important person in her life herself. One day after another, long day of running errands and caring for others, Jongsunja felt a wave of fatigue wash over her. She sat down with her friend and, with tears in her eyes, confessed, "I'm really tired. I don't know if helping others is worth it when I'm neglecting my health." Her friend, who had watched Jongsunja struggle for months, gently but firmly said, "It's wonderful to help others, but you must take care of yourself first. If your health suffers, you won't be able to help anyone, not even yourself." Those words hit Jongsunja hard. She had never thought about it like that. Her need to please others, to always be there for everyone, had come at the expense of her well-being. For the first time, she realised that by neglecting herself, she was no longer able to truly give to others. She wasn't helping anyone in a meaningful way anymore, because she was running on empty. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment "Tobe" below to let me know that you are still here with me. With that realization, Jongsunja decided to make a change. She started setting boundaries. She began saying no to requests that would drain her and instead focused on her health and happiness. She spent time doing the things she loved: reading, walking in the park, gardening, and simply relaxing. She helped others only when she had the energy to do so, and without guilt. It wasn't easy. At first, there were moments when she felt selfish, when she thought about how her neighbours or family might react. But as time passed, Jongsunja began to see the benefits. Her energy returned, her health improved, and most importantly, she rediscovered the joy that had been missing from her life. For so long, her story is a powerful reminder that as we age, we must take responsibility for our health and well-being. It's not about being selfish, it's about creating balance by learning to say no to others when we need to. We can say yes to the things that truly matter: our happiness, health, and sense of self-worth. Similarly, there is the story of Lee Janga, a 75-year-old mother who had spent her entire life giving everything she had. To her children, she poured all her love, energy, and resources into raising them, ensuring they had everything they needed to succeed. She felt fulfilled by the sacrifices she made for her family. But as time went on, Lee Janga realised that in giving so much to others, she had neglected herself. Her body ached from years of physical labour, and her health had begun to decline. She found it harder and harder to keep up with the demands of life, and she felt a sense of emptiness creeping in, something she hadn't felt before. One day, after feeling particularly worn out, Lee Janga's daughter sat down with her and gently said, "Mum, you've given us everything, but now it's time to take care of yourself. If you don't, who will be there to help us in the future?" At first, Lee Janga resisted the idea. She couldn't imagine putting herself before her children. But over time, she began to understand. She started prioritizing her health, taking time to rest, eat better, and enjoy life outside of caregiving. She realized that by taking care of herself, she was giving more to her children in the long run. She could be there for them not out of obligation, but from a place of strength and vitality. Lee Janga's journey is a testament to the fact that self-care is not a luxury. It's a necessity when we are well rested, nourished, and healthy. We can give our best to those around us. We can be present both physically and emotionally, without feeling depleted or resentful. In the end, learning to say no is not just about rejecting others. It's about reclaiming our time, our energy, and our health. It's about setting boundaries that allow us to live fulfilling lives where we are both givers and receivers of love and care. We must remember that we cannot pour from an empty cup when we fill ourselves up. First, we can give more of ourselves to others, not just in a way that helps them, but in a way that helps us too. So let us embrace the power of no. Let us learn to say it without guilt, with the understanding that by doing so, we are choosing to live healthier, happier, and more meaningful lives. It is only by taking care of ourselves that we can truly be there for those we love. As we wrap up today's video, we've explored the importance of saying no in order to preserve our well-being and lead a more fulfilling life. From Jang Sunja's story of learning to prioritize herself to Lee Janga's realization that taking care of her own health benefits not just herself, but her loved ones as well. We've learned that self-care is essential to living a balanced life. So what about you? What have you learned from today's video? Is there something you will start practicing in your own life? I'd love to hear from you. Please share one thing that you've learned and how you plan to implement it in your life. In the comments below if you enjoyed this video. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.